stampers and crafters and my friends. Welcome to Throw the Dice Thursday and also to ktstamps.com and creating cards for you. My name is Kevon and I'm so glad to have you guys with me today. This is all about taking these beautiful little dices that we have and we throw them every other week. And when we throw them, we try to create cards that have these components to them. Some of them are, I do it, sometimes I don't. This is one of those times I did not. So I just felt like I found a little bit of a color. I kind of stuck with the neutrals. Kind of, sort of bling. Kind of, sort of congrats. Kind of, sort of coloring, and absolutely not a lot of monochromatic. So I'm just asking that you hang in with me, but you have some fun while we're doing so. So the first thing you need to do is that you need to go get your paper trimmer, a ruler, and a pencil. That's going to be the first thing you're going to need. So now the card we are going to make is a diagonal pocket. And this is what the diagonal pocket looks like. And it's just a card, something that slips in and out. And when you have it on the side, then there's a little saying there that you can have that just kind of welcomes you to the, exactly what the card is all about. I did another one in the Fresh Freesia, and instead of doing ribbon at the bottom, I just did what we consider a paper ribbon at the bottom. I added a little bit of bling. I have just a note on it because I really like that. I think that's pretty nice. Put some flowers in there. Up here, I did a different technique that I'm going to share with you today. All right, so that's a little bit about what we're doing today. So I love that, and I love being able to share that with you. So we're going to start off making our pocket. We are going to get our piece of Night of Navy. It is 5.5. Okay, well, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Again, you want to make sure that you have a good crease. All right. Then the next thing you're going to do is from the bottom up. I like to go from the bottom up. We are going to measure. Let me do that one more time. We're going to measure up 3 1/4. All right. So, whoops, I'm throwing things around this morning. So here we are from the bottom up to 3 1/4, and all it's going to be is just a little tick mark. So the next thing we're going to do is from this corner to here, we are going to cut our diagonal. So when you slide it in, what's really nice is that you can find everything in this nice little gutter. All right, as I close this, then what you want to do is that you want to be able to, and I'm going to try to do my best, see the corner up at the top and see the tick mark down at the bottom. And this may take just a few minutes to really focus, but that's where you're going from the tick mark to the corner. And remember, you need to unfold your card. And then we're going to get rid of our light gray. We're going to bring in our dark gray, which is our cutter, and all we're going to do is cut all the way up. All right, then you're going to take your eraser and you're just going to erase. All right, so that is our first cut we're going to make. Then we have 2 more cuts that we need to bring in. All right, and as you can see, they're right here, and this is going to be from the exact same thing. We're going to move up, go up, 3 1/4. And remember that the directions are on the bottom. Okay, so you can just find out what all the or not directions, but what we're using and the measurements. And all of these, we are going to make a tick mark at the 3 1/4. Now, this one is going to be harder to try to see this tick mark. So you need to, I would suggest doing this right away. So you can find the tick mark, and we're going to go from corner to tick mark. And when we put down our lever, we can make an adjustment to make sure that you can see the corner and you can also see the tick mark. And then all we're going to do is cut that down. We're going to do the exact same thing on our basic white. We're going to find the corner, we're going to find the tick mark, put the lever down or the handle down or the score cutter guide down, and then we're going to cut all the way up. So that's going to give us our 3 cuts. Now again, on the white, you're going to be able to see this, so all we're going to do is get rid of it. And we're going to place this on top of the blue and just kind of see where it lands. It's pretty good. I only cut these about 1/8 of an inch. And then we have this here. So you can see right now that when we're dealing with the white, so before you glue everything down, you can see that right now the flower needs to be cut just a little bit on the bottom. And I would take off about 1/8 of an inch at the bottom. Not very much. And all I do on my 1/8 of my inch, I just look right here at my ticks on my, the ticks on the other side of my cutter. And all I do is line it up, make sure that it's secure against the top, and make the cut. So now this should fit just a little bit better. All right, so you can see how much better it fits. So we can get rid of our scoring tool, and now we can start to put this together. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add on, oops, sorry, sometimes my tape does not dispense tape very well. And so all you do is bring in your silicone pad, and it will help you out a lot. All right, so from here, we're just going to put this on. All right, so we have our little diagonals, and you know right now that the diagonals fit because we've already measured them. And you just have to trust sometimes. And you know, if cards, to me, if cards are not perfect, then people know that they're handcrafted. And you know, I think that that is just the way to be, is just to have a nice handcrafted, and there's some mistakes on it. So people know, oh, I knew I was going to do that. Before you do this, if you're following me, you want to make sure, I have to do a little bit of surgery, so all I'm doing is picking this up on the side before I press it down. And you want to put your ribbon on it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm just going to bring my silicone pad inside here. Bring out my ribbon. So this is basic white, and it is herringbone ribbon. So we are just going to cut a piece of herringbone ribbon. We're going to just cut it on, just so it fits along the bottom. And then we are going to give it a couple of glue dots. And that's going to secure it to the back. and I'm putting 2 on each side. Make sure that the glue dots are on the same side, so you don't have one on one side and one on the other. Yes, I have done that one before. So all I'm doing is taking my glue dots and just pulling them off. All right, so from here, all I'm going to do is bring this around. I'm going to secure one end, making sure that it is in a straight line to secure the other. Okay, and then from here, I'm going to lay it down, give it a good rub on the bottom. There we go. Then we're going to bring in the ribbon again, and I like keeping everything on the roll because then I don't use a lot that way. And you're just going to make a nice little bow or a nice little knot. All right, take your scissors and you can just cut up at an angle, and on the other one you can do the exact same. And I think we need to make better angles. And we're going to do the exact same thing. Be careful when you do this that you do not cut the bottom rib. All right, so it seems like my ribbon, nope, it's not. Yeah, it's a little bit lifting. So if you have some lifting, I would go ahead and bring in your glue, your liquid glue, and press that down. And again, I just turn everything over and give it a nice little pressing on the other side. Yeah, sometimes you just have to makeshift your cards, and sometimes you just have to do lots of little surgery on the cards. So now I want to tell you, this is such a great deal. Stampin' Up! Has this Delightfully Electric, and these are 12 by 12 sheets. And there is, I don't know how many they have in here, but there's quite a few. 48. They have 48 of these. Different types of DSP 12 by 12 that you can use that will make beautiful cards. And that's what this top, nice little beautiful flowers, comes into play. So I really enjoy when Stampin' Up! Has the big packages that come out. I love to buy them because you just can make so many cards, and there's so many different varieties for you to choose from. So getting back to our card, as we bird walk, we are just going to put a piece of tear and tape over here at the side. And then I'm just going to put just a large piece at the bottom. If you want to go all the way across, you can. But otherwise, it's just right here on the side, all the way down as much as you can, and then down at the bottom. I'm going to take my bone folder, and all I'm going to do is give it a good varnishing. And that will help the tear and tape, the double side tape, stick on the other side, and it will also help you get this tape off. So it comes off nice and easy. If you're having trouble with it, then just go ahead and varnish it just again, and then you can, you know, take it off nice and easy. So we're going to get those out of the way, and all we're going to do is make sure that this is even with us, and we're just going to press down. So right now we have our little pocket. So now we're going to create the insides, and the inside is going to be, I use the go-to greetings. I love these greetings. Just a note, what a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful script this is. I love this. So we are just going to, I don't think I have it. Yes, I do. I have it over here. We are going to find our paper, and because it is a nice rubber, okay, with lots of cushion down there, we don't need to grab our whatever, our paper piercing. So we're going to grab some Night of Navy. And we're just going to put a stamp in the corner. Then we're going to bring in our Calypso Coral. And this is where I want to show you a new technique that you can do. There's a couple of different techniques that you can do with this flower. If you just take the stamps and just stamp, okay, it gives you that little wow. And I am using the Artistically inked. And they are almost like a distinctive stamp, which there's some depth to it. You can also ink it up, okay, take your blending brush, kind of blend it, and then stamp. Again, it's lighter. You can take your stamp and just go ahead and give it a little brush, and there you get something. So these are 3 different ways that you can do this. Today I'm going to use the blending brush and the ink. So I'm just going to take this, ink this up. I'm going to do it one more time just so I got it inked. And I'm just going to give it a stamp. Okay? Again, one more time. And I may not have stamped that very much. And then we're just going to give it a stamp. So you can see the beauty that you have just with the brush and with the stamps. So there's a lot of different stamps you can do that with. So give that a try. Okay? So from here, because I did not make a mistake, we can turn this over and adhere it to the garden green. And you know, I absolutely love, again, Stampin' Up, because what they do with all their designer series papers is that they put all the colors below. So this one has black, bubble bath, Cajun craze, Calypso coral, crushed curry, fresh freesia, garden green, misty moonlight, night of navy, old olive, petal pink, and pretty peacock. So all the colors that you need to coordinate, you have on the back. So that's what I did with this. This piece right here is a garden green piece. So we're going to take that garden green and we're just going to put it in at the side. So you can see that this is nice, easy. I got a little bit carried away on the stamping, but we're going to add a few, and these are called Adhesive-Backed Solid Gems. The color is copper, which I spelled wrong, copper clay, boho blue, and lemon lolly. Now, because this has some yellow in it, I just said, let's just go ahead. It's pretty, it'll look nice, it'll look summery, and it just will go with the card itself. But I think what I'm going to do is that I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to go just with these jewels. Now, this is the old time jewels, And so I measured them, and the small ones are exactly what you need to have, and they match the other ones. I like to use it up. And this is my take a pick. It has putty at the end, so the putty will grab the jewel, and most of the time it stays. Okay, here we go. I gotta get this down. And then one more. It's gonna be a big one for this one, but it's gonna be hit just a little bit. So don't you think somebody would love to receive a cute little card like this? So this is our first one. Again, it's a diagonal pocket card. So we're one down, one more to go. And remember, you can also do it with paper ribbon at the bottom. And it's also one that you can use any color you want. So it's great. This came from the exact same designer series paper. So our next one is one of my favorites because I love purple. So anytime I'm dealing with purple, that's what I'm doing. So this is our little shot for the day. And it's just having a cup of coffee with friends. So this one's going to take a little bit longer because we are going to use a whole bunch of different blends to create this card. So the first thing that I wanted to do is that I wanted to show you, this is my, this is the forest that sits in the back, or the trees, or the park, whatever you would like to call it. And I am just going to take this and give this a rub, and everything should fall out. Okay, so we have everything, and then I'm just going to go back in, give it another rub, and yes, when you're dealing with this, you will have little pieces all over yourself, all over the house, all over your stamp room, but it is so awesome. I absolutely love this, and it is just, it's fun. This is just one of those fun little things that we can do that, here we go, my dentist tools, that just gives you a different way to take a look at putting your cards together. So this is Mossy Meadow. Love Mossy Meadow. So it's one of my favorite colors, favorite green color. And you know, it goes with Blackberry Bliss and Cherry Cobbler really well. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is that we have some pieces that we're going to put together. So our first one that we have is a piece of our 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 3/4. So that's going to be number one. Number two that we're going to get ourselves ready for, and that is, this is going to be just our piece that's going to layer in the back. And I love it because these colors are just so brilliant. I love them. I absolutely love them. So because we're not going to do any stamping, we can add these onto the card. Where is my silicone? All right, sometimes the silicone padding helps really secure the tape. And remember, I'm using my Stampin' Seal. There you go. Oh my goodness, I have a whole bunch of that on, thank goodness. I have not cleaned my silicone pad. All right, we have two pieces. One is a little bit smaller than the other, and that's going to go on the back of our scenery. But before we do the scenery, we have a little piece right here that we need to cut, and it just sits right here. And as you can see, I mean, you're going to hardly even miss it. So we only have 2 stems instead of 3. So we're going to get out our little scissors. I thought I had them right here. I'm going to get out our big scissors. And we are just going to cut the tree limb. We're going to cut up just a little bit. And then we're going to cut a diagonal on the bottom. So that's what it's going to look like. From here, I am just going to take out this piece, do my own little doctoring. Okay, and it looks like I took out just a little bit more. Hold on just a minute. Maybe we need to, I'm looking at my piece, we need to go up just a little bit higher. So we're going to take this piece out and the branches across the top. I hope you guys got that. Okay, so from here, let me bring this one in. We are going to take this one out. Okay, so we just are going to cut it to the side. And then that's going to fit having coffee. And it's okay, because a lot of times you end up having, you know, coffee in the trees, and there's a beautiful, you know, trees around you, and it's just like, wow. So you're going to put this back on, and you're going to kind of get a little bit of an idea of where you're going to stamp. Now, the stamp set we're using is Coffee with Friends. Love this stamp set. And it is a, what is it, red rubber stamp set. And I need to make sure that so it fits on, oh man, on the D block. And you gotta love these blocks from Stampin' Up. So I'm gonna also bring in my Memento ink, and I'll be right back. I have to grab it. Because we are using our Stampin' blends today, you want to make sure that you have the Memento ink. It goes well with our blends. All right, so you have a little bit of an idea of where you're going to stamp to. You're going to remove this, and then you're going to gear it a little bit towards the bottom of your basic white. And then you're going to release. And then you're going to check it out. Okay, so that gives you just a little bit of an idea. I'm going to try on the other side, see if I do it better, because I'd like to get this just a little bit lower towards the bottom of the cardstock. All right, so we're going to do this. All I'm doing is turning this upside down, giving it a nice little ink up. So I'm going to try to get it down a little bit lower. Straight down, straight up. All right, and let's see where that takes me now. That's a little bit better. I like that. Okay, so now we're going to bring in all our blends that we're going to use on this. I would bring in also another, this is all our blends. Okay, I would bring in some scrap paper so you can color on them, and I just did a little bit of everything. I used all these different colors, and I didn't use them all, especially when we go from the SU, the skin tones, the colorings, the SU 100 to SU 600. That one, go ahead. You can just make a decision on it and whether you want to use it or not. Now, I also have a couple of pens that I can't get opened because they seem like they are shut and the top comes off. So just know that I'm using different ends to bring that in. This is the Light in the Dark Berry Bliss. And I'll come back in just a minute and use that. This is just on her shirt, and make sure that you get it low underneath. Okay? And then, and again, your blends tell you whether you are using the flare or the bold. And I'm going to come back in with my bold, and all I'm going to do is follow the black and outline her shirt. And do the same on the bottom. And that kind of gives you just a little lightness to her, you know, like she's either had a nice little sweat. I'm going to bring this in and do the top of her head too. Like she's either sweating or that she's in the sun and in the shade. So the next thing we're going to do is that we're going to bring in the 100 and 200. So those are the two that I'm going to bring in. I'm going to start just by outlining the outside of her hair. And then I'm going to use the 200, which is a little bit lighter, and just giving it an opportunity to mix or blend in with the other. So it looks like you have the different colors in your hair. So again, that was the 100 and the 200. With her hair, I wanted to go a little more blonde. So I did 600. I think the 600, let me see, 500 and 600. Let me see about that. So I'm just kind of looking at lines to make sure. So I'm going to go with a little bit of the darker with the 600 right now. And I'm going to keep that out just in case. I'm going to bring in the 500 and just kind of blend it in. So she looks like she has some highlights to her hair. Excuse me. There we go. And then I am bringing back the 500 and just giving her skin tone just a little on the bronzy side. I'm thinking that it's summer. They're having a beautiful little coffee in the sun, and I'm going to go back and do some other colors around the outside of her face, so then the hair doesn't really match the skin tone right now. So I want to make sure that there's a little bit of a darker skin tone. So on that one, I want to find the 300. It's going to be just a little bit difference. Now these are oil, or they're alcohol based, so that's why Memento ink is really great. If you use Memento ink with our markers, it is not that everything will run. So you want to really make sure on that you want to use your black stays on. All right, so now we are going to color her, but I'm going to give her just a little bit lighter. This is the light crumb cake. Okay, just again to have a, you know, a kind of a light, a dark, show you guys a little bit on how to do this. And I'm also going to use the crumb cake on the bench. And then I'm going to highlight the bench. So again, as I'm coloring nice and easy, trying to stay within the lines, which I don't always do. The flare just came out there, so I'm going to use the flare part of the blends. So now I'm going to get my darker crumb cake, and now I am just going to highlight the darker part, kind of give it just a little more color in between here, but I also want it to look like it has had a little bit of rain on it. So again, and you guys, you can do your own coloring any way you want. I am not the best colorer in the world. There's some great demonstrators out there that are absolutely fabulous. Oh my God, I love watching their videos. And I think that that's what we're out here. We all have our strengths, and I think that that is exactly what you guys should be doing. You should go out there and find people that really support, you know, what you really would like to learn. So now we are going to just put a little bit of gray around here, or crumb cake it is. I'm going to put a little bit of a darker, this is going to be the 100, just right around the bottom. So they're holding on to their cup. From here, I'm just going to get out my Misty Moonlight. I'm going to start with the light. And then add the dark to give it some highlight. And remember, she has a shirt underneath. And then I am looking for my dark and just highlight around her shirt. And I always knew that coloring would take some time. There you go. So that also shows some beautiful, this is some beautiful clothes. I love that. We are going to then do, I'm going to go back, I'm going to come back to the other one. This is just going to be the light Night of Navy. Sorry if you can see my head, that I am just looking so I can see. I'm getting old, so I don't always see very well. And then this is what I'm talking about on my, if I pull this one off, the whole thing comes apart. Oh, it didn't. Oh, you are so beautiful. Thank you for not doing that. Yes, this is the, oh, this is the Misty Moonlight. I'm looking for the Night of Navy. Let's see if I can get this apart without, yes. So we're going to just come back with our dark. Yes, I'm so glad. Most of the time the top comes off, the top part comes off, and it is just a mess to try to get them back on. And I'll try to show you if I can. Let me see if it's the flare one that comes off. Oh, they're both working today. Oh my God, this is awesome. Okay, so we're going to go back to our light. Misty Moonlight. And we are just going to put that on. Looks pretty barren out there, doesn't it? So we have our nice little barren areas. The women are just looking into the nothingness, and it will change once we get the background on here. Two friends just having fun. Let's see. Oh yeah. I'm just going to leave their tennis shoes as being white. All right, so that's what we have. This is so awesome. So now we are going to turn this over. Going to bring in our silicone pad, and we're going to bring in our liquid glue. So from here, we just want to add just a light amount of glue on the background. And you just want to put it in some places just so it sticks itself down. And also then, I don't do anything right around where their faces are going to be. You can either let this sit, and as soon as it turns, you know, a little bit transparent, that's when you're going to want to glue it down. So we're going to bring this back in, and we are just going to put this down. Now, on this, her hair's a little, or this little area is a little bit in the way of her hair. I kind of like it. I think it's very nice. I think that if it bothers you, please make sure that you cut it. So now all I'm going to do is trim the white so it matches up. I did not do a very good job cutting these at the same dimension. Just going to let that be. All right, and we're just going to take our tape, and you can see that it bleeds through, so that's why you want to have paper underneath. And we are just going to put this on our Bliss. Isn't that so much fun? I love this. Absolutely love this. Look at how much fun that is. Two people enjoying coffee, talking. It's just one of my favorite things to do. Love it. And I love going out for coffee. Any of you guys in Seattle that would like to go out with coffee with me, I'm there. Let me know. Coffee's my best friend. I love it. Okay, so from here, I hope that I do everything properly. We're going to take our little coffee and croissants, and we're going to stamp that in our pumpkin pie. I just have to find it now. And we're just putting that in the corner. So that's just going right in the corner. And I would say this is a good time to bring in your envelope so you do not have a naked envelope. There you go. That lets people know right away that you are ready to go out and have a cup of coffee with them. And then the next thing that you want to do is bring in your Blackberry Bliss. And you're going to bring in the sentiment that says, coffee with friends is like happiness in a cup, which I totally agree with. And I'm just stamping below to make sure that I get a good seal on my stamp set. And relax. A little crooked. I can correct that by doing a punch and putting that there. Otherwise, I can say, you know what? I made this. And you can tell because my sentiment is crooked. So this is the card for today. Our cards for Throw the Dice. So we have beautiful, oh, I lied, we're not done yet. Oh my goodness. Okay. I forgot about that. We're taking our small little piece here. Got you guys all excited, didn't I? And we're going to grab our Let's Celebrate. Okay, and Let's Celebrate is from the Sentimental Park. And do I already have it in here? I thought I took it out. So hold on. I have to find it now because it is lost. I thought I had it with my... with everything. Let me see if I can. Still trying to look for it, guys. Still trying to look for it. That was my only one that I was doing a nice little Let's Celebrate. All right, well, this is fabulous. Okay, well, I'm kind of panicking a little bit. Well, times like this, I guess that we have to try to find another stamp set that fits the small little piece. Let me see if I can find something in here. I love this stamp set. So it has to be pretty small. So I'm looking at one of these. But I don't have to write U in there. Oh, here it is. Yay! Oh, yay! I'm so happy about that. All right, so we are, and I think I'm going to have to do some surgery on this. I don't know for sure if it will stay on, but we have some little things that will help us if it does not stay on very well. And I'm talking about adhere to this. So here we are. I'm going to throw this in the middle here. Yay! Let's celebrate. Love it. All right. And so we're just going to stick it on here, and all I'm going to do is straight cuts. So I'm going to see if it's on here. It's still a little bit big. There we go. And now it's a little bit big on here. We're going to just go ahead and add a little bit of glue. I am going to grab my wonderful tweezers, put it on here, give it a little bit of leeway. I love being able to use this glue because you can move it, and that's exactly what we needed to do. Give it a little move. Then I'm going to just cut up, make sure that they're about the same size. I just need to do a little bit of a haircut over here. There we go. Then we are going to find our small little dimensionals. Put them on here. I'm going to do about 4. Take them off, and then I have one more thing I have to do once I get that. These, all I do is squish these, and when I squish them, the ends usually pop up, which brings the paper off it really easily. Okay, and that's all I'm doing is Nice, easy little squeeze, little punch, little movement. There we go. Yes. So we're just going to put that up at the top. Yes. Love it. And then I am looking for my rhinestones again. And we are going to pull these out. And we're going to stick one right on the word, or by the word, or to focus on the word. We're going to just stick one right over here just to kind of focus on the people who are having the nice little conversation, and then just one in the corner. So that's the end. Oh my God. I love this. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being with me through all this hard work and finding everything and going through new little techniques and all that. So I want to show you the cards just one more time. I want to make sure I have the right cards. There we go. They're the two cards that we created today. I love it. If I naked envelope, I would just add these flowers. Make a group of 3. So that's what we have today. So, oh my God, now we need to get ourselves ready for 2 weeks. So here we go. Let me move everything and get everything cleared off so we can make a good roll. And hopefully I can follow it next time. So here we go. Our first one, sympathy. Yes. Bling coloring. Clean and simple. And the neutrals again. So that's pretty awesome. I love that. I think I can do this one. Yes, yes, yes. All right, guys. So again, my name is Kevon. I'm at KT Stamps, and I love creating cards for you. Love, love, love it. So have a great day. I'll see you in 2 weeks, and please show me your cards. Come on, you can put them on my Facebook page, and then again, liking my YouTube. Come on, you guys, you can do it. So take care, guys. I'll see you later. Thank you for stopping by. Bye-bye.